Phone's lighting up, but I'm just gonna let it ring. Yeah, my phone's lighting up, but I'm just gonna let it ring. Is it the liquor in my system? My desire's not so real. Got me caught up in this rhythm. Draw me in and make me feel. Draw me in and make me feel. Draw me in and make me feel. Make me But you look so good and I know what you're offering. Phone's lighting up, but I'm just gonna let it ring. Yeah, my phone's lighting up, but I'm just gonna let it ring. Is it the liquor in my system? My desire's not so real. Got me caught up in this rhythm. Draw me in and make me feel. Make me feel. Boy, on a real hesitation creeping in. But you look so good and I know what you're offering.
Welcome back everyone then to the 12 Hours of Monza here hosted by ACM Racing and it has been definitely an eventful couple of hours since I've last been here. First of all, it's still raining. I'm sure these guys have had a dry patch at some point and it is now getting quite dark outside. We have lost a few throughout the race, but obviously that is to be expected. And our race leader then, now coming into the pits, is Stanislav. The car that started 43rd on the grid this morning is now first and coming in for their pit stop then. Just under 2 hours remaining in the session. I am here now to the end of the race and obviously we'll go through the grid, see what changes there have been, and the biggest one I'm noticing is they have had a dry patch simply by the fast lap currently being held by Joe McLaren. Is a 1:47.9. That is a dry lap time, but obviously not the fastest dry lap time, so I wonder if it is still a little damp outside. But going down the grid then, obviously we have our race leader by a fair margin. It's like a lap, followed by Pierre in P2, the solo driver, currently doing really well for himself at the moment. And obviously we do have Joe McLaren in the Tempo Ferrari, one not so bright livery anymore now in the dark, but he does come out of his pit stop. And we also see Luca in P4 in the Mustang. Bacano still up there in P5, followed by Nicola in the Romanoli Esports team Aston Martin that has dropped down to P6. But Bacano and Nicola currently fighting for position as well. So we'll see how this does go for these two, as Bacano trying to go around the outside then of the Mustang. And I believe, yeah, sorry, that is for P4 then. So this is your battle for P4. A little three-way battle into the dark. We are at the moment. Just pull this up here. And you can see the Bacana then already on the inside and making a move up the inside of the Mustang. Mustang probably on quarter tyres after the pit stop, but the Mustang still holding it around the outside as it's coming towards Lesmo 2. And the Porsche move better acceleration, but off goes the Mustang into the gravel. That's going to allow Nicola to get the better of the Porsche as well. So we'll just have to go on board with these two then as they come towards Ascari. Side by side coming towards Ascari, but the Aston stays behind for now. And it should hopefully turn into quite an exciting battle come the end of this race. So I'm definitely looking forward to it. It should be pretty good. Obviously, not much can be said for our race leader, who is miles ahead of the rest of the field. But this is the next best thing. So we'll see how this battle develops. So Bacano leads this little group. I was watching a little bit before, and I did see they had a battle between I think it was Joe McLaren and Senatore before they made their pit stop. But the Aston goes up the inside of the Porsche, makes it to the outside now. Can he go all the way around the outside? What will it be? He can't get enough. The Porsche just getting the better of the acceleration there. Just can't get past at this stage. But yeah, I saw Senatore and Joe McLaren have a little bit of a battle probably around half an hour ago. So I wonder if that will come into play, or but it seems like McLaren is a fair way ahead at the moment. But looks like then Bacano just holding on for now. Just got enough pace in the Porsche to stay ahead of these guys for now then. I don't think there's going to be another dry spell for the rest of the race, or it would be unlikely to have one. I think we're expecting more rain from what I saw from the weather forecast before I switched over to these graphics. So we'll have to see obviously how that plays out. Again, there's still 2 hours of the race to go, so anything can change, and anything of course is possible. Looking a little bit further down the order then, we've got Ivan in the other Mustang GT3, followed by, I believe this was our race leader at the time we left, the number 78 car is finding himself down in P7, so at least he's still in the race. That's a good thing, of course. He also does find himself a little bit out of position now. We've got David in the other Porsche down in P9, Marcin in P10 in that Lexus. Rocco finds himself in P11 in the 184 Mustang. And we also see Thomas in P12 in that bright pink McLaren that I'm sure many of you saw a little bit earlier on. But yeah, it should be a very interesting second bit of this race. So we'll have to seriously how that does play out. But I have to see what's going on here. Seems like we've got Ivan. Yeah, he's just made a mistake, I believe, and he's just gone off the runoff there, and that has allowed a little bit of clean air for, or a clear passage behind for the number 164 car, and they do find themselves in a fair amount of traffic at the moment. But see, it is getting quite dark now. I have altered my ACC settings for these night settings. But if it is too dark, please let me know and I'll make a change for you. But it looks alright at the moment on my screen, but obviously how it appears to you might be a little bit different, so just let me know if it is too dark. Other than that then, Bacano clearing his way out of the traffic and finding himself in a bit of clean air. See if he can try to push on a little bit now. We got 1 hour and 50 on the clock. And so you got the likes of Joe McLaren. Also, we haven't seen Joe race this morning, so I see a returning face, which I haven't seen race in ACM for a very long time. So it's good to see him back in a car. So, and he's currently wanting to keep P3 as well, as he does find himself a fair amount away from Pierre in P2, who also, I think I already mentioned, it is solo driving this. Solo driving 12 hours. That is incredible, because all the pit stops you're going to have to like rush to the toilet and stuff like that, but he's doing a fine job at P2 at the moment. And obviously our race leaders starting 43rd and now in first. I've got confirmation earlier from Stanislav's teammate that it will be Stanislav finishing the race for the team, so there'll be no more driver swaps in the number 1 car as he drives so lonely down towards Ascari, just all by himself with his hazards on for no apparent reason. I think maybe he forgot to turn them off, but he's constantly driving then, and we'll push onwards as we'll look down now. Down the grid, we'll go down. Let's go down to Andrea in the 96 McLaren, who finds himself currently in P18, the double 9. Maybe looking to get a few more places up into the field. Obviously another Italian driver. We've got a good, heavily dominated by the Italians today, which is no surprise considering we are at Monza. Of course, a home race to many. We've also got Marco in the other McLaren, German driver, in the 717 car. Currently in P14. He's got Alexander just behind him, and I'm sure he'll be looking to try and see if he can improve position. But again, these guys are a fair way off the next car, purely in terms of endurance. That just tends to what happens. They've got quite a lot of information on their livery. So yeah, another livery that's caught in the light. We will let's check back in when with Bacano and Nicola. There's now a considerable gap between these two now, actually. It's about a second and a little bit, so yeah, we'll have to see how they get on. We've also got, I don't think a lot has changed. Unfortunately, when reloading the graphics, I did not save the previous data that we received from the first 2 hours, so unfortunately stuff like top speeds and stuff might be a little bit different, from what we saw earlier. But we can have a quick look as Nicola bounces across the curb there. Is Martin still holding to the leaderboard though in that Lexus? It's going to be 278 kilometers an hour as well, so yeah, so I think some data has unfortunately been reset, but unfortunately it is part of what happens. However, we move on as Nicola will be looking to try and close the gap if he can. It's 54.5 last time, and Bacano at 54.4, so looks like Bacano just edging out Nicola then at this stage. Looking to see eager to try to get past the blue flag. Blue flag does let him go nicely there. As we do see, I believe that's yeah, Ivan as well, trailing just behind the Roman Elite Sports team car as well. So yeah, we'll have to see how this battle unfolds, as this is the closest battle on track at the moment, as everyone else seems to be a fair way away from everyone else. We'll see how they get on. We've got as well see what the consistency's been like across the board for some of these guys. I will be quite interested to see. Let's pull up the consistency timing tower. I'll just edit this. Yeah, there we go. Stanislav, I'm not sure that's right. I don't know if it's just 'cause he's come in or something. I'm not sure what's happened. Yeah, maybe it's not updated, but I doubt it's 20 seconds. Pierre within half a second of his best. Or maybe this is what it is. Maybe due to the dry and wet weather potentially. Yeah, it could well be that actually. It's always nice to see how consistent some of these guys are getting across the board. Also got then our lap counter. Our race leader then doing 318 laps of this circuit. Pierre then, the man you're watching, 317. Joe McLaren 316. So these guys have done already a fair amount of laps, and Pierre also doing 317 laps by himself. So that is definitely going to work his way up the tally in terms of who's done the most laps. At the moment, the record is held by Kelly, has just done around 1,100 laps here at Monza alone. And we've logged around 36,000 laps already at Monza in ACM's history. And we're about to add probably another few hundred, that's for sure. So maybe getting to 37,000 laps here. And our all-time best at this track is held by the man currently driving in P1 all by himself. Stanislav has the lap record here. He has the most wins here. He is definitely, I'd say, one of the best competitive performers at Monza in ACM, if not the best. And I can prove that to you simply by pulling up a fair amount of graphics here. We can, in fact, we can pull up previous winners here at Monza. The last two races he has won, then split by Miso, and then Stanislav's teammate Ivanek taking the win once there, and then Stanislav again. So they'll be adding to his tally for the last 5 previous wins. And the last 5 laps, 5 fastest laps, again, obviously Stanislav holds the record. It's a 45.9, followed by his teammate Ivanek, also doing a 45.9. Not much in it between them. And then Jones, Ryan, and then Stubner as well. So again, very competitive lap times, and obviously lap times we haven't seen today, purely due to the weather. So we'll have to see any of these includes. But in terms of most wins in ACM of all time, USB holds the most for that. It will be 84 wins for Eusebi, followed by Ryan with 51, then Eric 23, Lucas with 18, and Ben Gilray will be moving down to P6 after Stanislav at the moment on about to probably claim his 16th win in ACM as well. But if you want to see most pole positions, again it's held by Eusebi, then Ryan and Hanak. Obviously Stanislav did not get the pole here. They started 43rd, so it's definitely something to see as well. Most podiums again, Eusebi, by a fair margin, 176 podiums for the Portuguese man, and he holds that record, and that's probably not to be beaten for some time. Also have most race starts then. Another RSR member, Joel Kelly, at 421 race starts in ACM, the most out of anyone. Like I said, he already holds the most laps at this track. He holds the most laps in ACM in general, and he holds the most race starts as well. I am actually on the bottom of that list, just so I have some relevance in this world, with 101 race starts. Only made my 101th last week, so good to be back racing, that's for sure. But yeah, this is, if you're obviously wanting to know a bit more about ACM, you can join the Discord or have a look on the sim grid. There's always going to be a race that suits you, or maybe it stands out to you. Obviously, ACM hosts all kinds of different races for endurances to all sorts. So it is definitely something to get involved in. So we've got some blue flag action up ahead as well. But if you wanted to know what the next round was in ACM, it is tomorrow. It is the 60 minutes of Brands Hatch, obviously tomorrow at 6:30 UTC. It is a 15-minute quali followed by a 60-minute race, and it's the finale of the Sunday series. And I said, the man that's probably the most decorated man in ACM history, Eusebi, has won every single race so far this season of the Sunday series, so someone needs to beat him. So if you're interested and looking to be that person to beat him, you need to get yourself signed up and join us tomorrow for the 60 minutes of Brands Hatch. As well, if you're wondering what other events we got on board, don't worry, I got you covered. We also have on Monday another 60 minutes of Brands Hatch as well, just in case you couldn't get enough of the one on Sunday, followed by 100 minutes of the Circuit of Americas, followed by Red Bull Ring on Friday, followed by our next endurance, which is next Saturday, the 7 hours of the Nords, and then on Sunday a Hungara Ring race, and then Monday a Donington race, and then another endurance on Thursday for the mini endurance series. It's 2 hours of Imola, sorry. So we'll have to see if you guys can get yourself signed up to those. You can involve with ACM if possible. Obviously we do have a little bit of a new graphic to show, which I made in the downtime as well, but we'll watch that in a second, as I do believe the event is getting a little bit closer to the Romanelli Esports car. So we'll have to see, can he get past last lap for Nicola was a 54.9, last lap for Ivan was a 54.5, so we'll have to see. Looks like Pierre's just come out of the pit lane for his stop as well, so he'll be looking to go on, maybe potentially to the end. He might just have enough fuel for that, but I'd imagine maybe these guys might make one more stop depending on how much fuel they're using in these conditions. Obviously it's wet, you probably use a little bit more fuel than you would in the dry, so these guys might be making one more stop after this then, but we'll go back on board then with the 155 car and see if he can make any gain at all on the Romanelli Esports car as well. Looks like we got some shout out for Mr. Livio down in P19 currently, in the brightest of green of Ferraris, living their best life in P19, just on the cusp of being off the leaderboard on your left hand side, but doing very well indeed. To be in the top 20 of a field so competitive like this is very impressive, so that is all good to see. Looks like they are a little bit away, around 20 seconds to the car ahead, so they'll be looking to see if they can try to close that gap in the remaining hour and a half of this race. So we'll have to see how they get on. We'll have to check back in with them a little bit later, as I don't believe Ivan has got any closer at the moment. I don't think he has. The gap has sort of steadied out at the moment, so maybe just waiting for the right moment. So I'll have to see how he does get on. But yeah, in terms of overlays, I've got the track guide one as well. This one's quite a cool one. It is simply, I do need to put a bit more work into this one, but it does tell you the lap record and the sector times as well. I should plan to have that picture of Monza animated, but that is work for another time. But obviously these graphics are constantly in development, so things may be buggy. Like I said earlier at the start of this race, I don't really have the weather. I did notice a problem with the replays as well in that first 2 hours, but unfortunately that is what happens when you're testing out something new like this. But yeah, it's all been built by myself, so everything will be developed pretty quickly if I can find the time for it. So yeah, it should be pretty good. And looks like we're continuing on then with Ivan, as this again is the closest battle we have on track at the moment. We also have like P18 and P17 getting pretty close as well. Actually, let's cut to that one, as I believe they are pretty much on top of each other. So yeah, let's have a look here. We have Andrea then and Sylvain in P18, the two McLarens going along pretty well. They'll be looking to see if they can get past. Let's go onto the wing cam. That is quite loud, the McLaren. I forgot how loud the McLaren was when you go on board. But McLaren, then two McLarens racing along into the night. It's a great exit from Sylvain there. As he will then continue on. Can we get it paired camera? Yes, we can. Two cars side by side then as they come towards Parabolica now. And looks like that will be a hold of position for the number P18 as he goes a little bit deep into Parabolica, flashing the lights, maybe eager to try and be let past if he's faster. He was last lap, so we'll have to see can this McLaren get by his fellow manufacturer. As these two are now the closest battle on track, as I think Ivan, yeah, he's dropped the gap to around 2 seconds, unfortunately, so we'll keep an eye on that as the race goes on. Again, we're just hitting around the final hour and a half of racing, flashing the lights again as Sylvain trying to get by. He makes a late dive towards the chicane. What will it be? Does get by, and the McLaren then letting him through pretty much. But yeah, it's a move made then. Late dive for Sylvain. He does get through nice and cleanly, so it's a great move, and he will now continue to push forward and onwards as well. But obviously the green Ferrari, which we were talking about earlier, Livio, is actually doing a faster lap time than the 99 by around 2 seconds a lap. So maybe we will see an improvement of position then for the 161 car. We'll have to keep an eye on that as they go forward. But back on board then with Stanislav, who still hasn't turned off his hazards yet. He can't find the button. The button is stuck on. But yeah, it is very, very interesting indeed. Keep an eye on these battles as they come forward. So we can see a lot of these drivers, I'm sure, eager to hop out the car as the end of the race does approach. Now, a lot of the final stints will be starting to get prepared. Like I said, I do think these guys will probably be making one more stop before the end of the race. So now I'll have to keep an eye on how they do. As I believe Stanislav just making its way past some traffic now, and making sure all the blue flags will try to get out of his way as sensibly as they can as well. And yeah, it is definitely pretty good to see. But in terms of actually fastest track, it's actually lapping Joe McLaren again. So he's lapping third position right here. Is Stanislav at the moment. So yeah, he will get by then. That is Joe McLaren. The man in third has just been lapped by the man in first. But speaking of Mr. McLaren, he does still hold the best Sector 2 and Sector 3. Obviously, he has set the fast lap of the race as well. But Stanislav still holds that mighty Sector 1. I imagine that's purely down to some of the top speed out of this Nissan. So we'll have to see. We'll see how that continues on then. Down, we'll go back on with the Romeo Lee Sports car of 164. And then the 155. This is the closest battle, or was the closest battle, until Ivan has come into the pit stand. I imagine this will probably, I'd hope it'd be his last stop with 1 hour and 30 to go. But I know that Mustang does like to drink a little bit of fuel. It is very relatable to a certain McLaren at Watkins Glen. But that means Nicolan doesn't really have to worry behind him all too much at the moment. He can just now crack on, let the pace start to build up, and see if he can try and make a little bit of a catch on Picano. The gap is around 3 seconds, so it's definitely catchable as well. In terms of anything else, we've also got I can show the, obviously we saw the consistency on the timing, but I can show you consistency for in the last 8 laps for Stanislav has been within 0.6 of a second of his best, so with an average of 53.9, so he's doing very well indeed for himself as well. We can see if we can pull up a driver card for that car. Yes, we can. Stanislav then doesn't have a pace rating, but I believe that's probably a little bit of a glitch due to the fact he's sharing a car with Ivanic, and they don't usually or don't normally run the number 1, so it's probably getting a little bit confused. But he does have 3,500 career laps in ACM, and he's adding to the tally after this race, that's for sure. He'll probably almost be at 4,000 career laps by the time this race is done. So yeah, it is definitely a very interesting one indeed. I'd actually like to put up a head-to-head with them, because we were watching them, and at the time the race was 78. But let's put it on Pierre, as the P2 at the moment. So the head-to-head for these two. And you can see their last laps are not all too far apart, around 4/10, and their best lap is within 1/10 of each other again. So overall, they actually are pretty, I'd say, pretty balanced and pretty equal between each other. And obviously, probably Stanislav gets a little bit of advantage having a teammate and a bit more strategy to play with having said teammates, so that doesn't surprise me all too much. But obviously it's only been half an hour. Like I said, that some of the data has been wiped, so unfortunately we can't see that Stanislav has made 43 places up in this race, but since we started streaming we have got a few position changes there on your screen, so I'm sure that will update as and when we get closer to the end of this race as well. But Picano just holding on in for P4 for now. If you do remember my predictions earlier on, I did say that the number 1 car would win, and so far my prediction is coming true. Might be a commentator's curse, but I hope not for the number 1 car. I even said to Ivanic, he told me I lie, and he was he said he was not expecting to come pretty much from last to first. Within 2 hours already, it was pretty much. I'm pretty sure it was just weren't long after we stopped streaming. They actually got up into first, so they've done pretty well for themselves, and I think they've led ever since. Obviously, they've built well, they've given themselves a whole lap as a cushion to P2, so they're doing pretty well at the moment. And then we've got Pierre, who I said actually would be P3 by the end of the race, but he's currently P2, and obviously again solo driving, so he's doing very well indeed. I said the Tempo car would be second, but they're in third. I actually said the Romano Leasepost team, who I think it's Senatore was currently driving, would finish P4. They're down to P5, and obviously Picano now finds himself on P4 instead. So it's just the way it goes. But yeah, it's definitely turned out to be quite an exciting race. It's a shame we couldn't stream the entire thing, as it seems there's been quite a lot of action through and through. So I think we've had a fair, well, it's got dry, that's for sure, with the fastest lap being the 1:47.9, but maybe not all the way dry. But yeah, it definitely has turned out to be quite an interesting race as well. Obviously, if you wanted to get involved in the next endurance, obviously it is 7 hours of Nords, so if you get yourself on the SingGrid, on the ACM Discord, get yourself signed up to that one. That is should be another fantastic race. Unfortunately, I am not available, but hopefully there'll be another one that can be streamed by the guys at ACM, and they will, I'm sure, put on a great show as well. We also have, in terms of the schedule, obviously we've already been through the schedule, but in terms of track records, sorry, we do have all the new track records held in ACM. This is not a full track list. I just crammed some of the probably best tracks and best laps we've had on these circuits. In Monza, then obviously we see Stanislav holds that one. We actually have Brian holding a 2:15.0 at Spa, which is an incredible lap time, and obviously Damien taking a few of these records as well. Donate from Nürburgring, and 8:04.2 from Angel on the 24-hour of Nürburgring circuit. And obviously, but yeah, that is definitely all, of course, the ACM data that we have access to, of course. So obviously, big thanks to ACM and Harry for allowing us to make use of that, as it does provide a little bit more extra to a stream than or any other stream really. But Joe McLaren currently following our race leader, not for position unfortunately, but does follow. Maybe just to pick up the pace, follow the pace. So obviously McLaren in third and Stanislav in first. So this might be helping McLaren catch up to Pierre a little bit. It's probably going to be the best way forward for these guys. Can actually see as well, I believe, yeah, Alexander as it's getting a little bit close to Marco. This is the battle for P14, and as the gap's around 1.3 seconds. Oh, it's now even lower in the final corner, but So this is a battle, yeah, 4P14. So we'll have to see how these guys do get on as well. As yeah, we've actually got Livio. Carl we were talking about before was caught up. This is pole position of Nicholas. So yeah, this will be potentially a move made for Livio. Into the chicane they go. Nothing can be made just yet. As we continue on, Livio still just can't find the line, or can't get close enough even. But I still think potentially we should go back on board with our race leader, and let's watch him do a lap in that Nissan. I will actually remove the timing tower so you can see exactly what is going on here. I'll obviously update you if there's anything that changes. I will be back in just 2 seconds. That was a lap then from your race leader. As he now continues on. Was a 54.0 last time around, fastest of anyone. So he'll be doing pretty well. As Joe McLaren can't even really follow him. He just hasn't got the pace to keep onwards. So it's going to be pretty well, as we are approaching the final hour of racing here at Monza. And we'll actually see if we've got any closer. We have Alexander, I believe, actually does seem to be yeah, so P15 or P14, sorry. You got these two, and you got Marco, Alexander as well. We'll see how this battle develops as well. As these two getting a little bit scrappy then. We'll see how they get on. Marco then holding on for now as the other Ferrari gets very, very close to the back of McLaren. I almost thought he was going to run into the back of him, but holds on then just for now. And doing pretty well at that. As McLaren holds on, but looks like the Ferrari has made a mistake and now trails a little bit behind. So it won't be 100% with you at the moment. And that does mean it's, well, technically it's still the closest battle on track. But looks like actually we do have a pit stop then for the 164 Romeo Esports team. Essentially the last pit stop of the race. I wonder if they have changed driver. It does take a lap or so for the change of the drivers to update, so we'll have to see who anyone has swapped with Nicola there. Maybe to find a little bit more pace to try and catch up. It's actually the 78 car, obviously, has got through due to the pit stop from the 164. So this was our previous race leader when we left for the first 2 hours. Now finds himself up into P5, so maybe dropping a few positions, but still going strong in the top 5 at the moment. Let's see how they get on as well. As see across the field, really, all the gaps are now starting to spread out a little bit. There isn't really too much, too many battles going on, but hopefully after the pit stops we'll have a few battles going on, and that'll take us to the flag. But I definitely can't ask for much more than what we got in the first 2 hours. I mean, the top 5 at one point was fighting for first all at the same time, so I can't really ask for too much more than that. So he's doing pretty well at the moment. Is everyone actually? Obviously Stanislav a lap ahead of everyone else and multiple laps ahead of at least half the field, so he's doing fairly well indeed. Let's have a quick race recap then. Obviously again, this is not going to show the data we had in the first 2 hours, unfortunately, but it does bring us to the race in review. We do have Stanislav, who is currently our leader, Joe McLaren, and holding the fast lap with 1:47.912, and it is our number 78 with the biggest move of +2 positions. Obviously, technically, it should be Stanislav and Ivanek, as they have gained 43 positions, but regardless, Marcin in the Lexus holding top speed at the moment of 278 kilometers an hour. So again, they are doing pretty well for themselves, and they continue onwards as well. And where is Marcin? He's currently down in P10 in the Lexus, just chilling in P10. He finds himself 30 seconds to Marek in the yellow Ferrari, who's obviously in P9 and doing pretty well for himself at this current stage. As yeah, like I said, a lot of these drivers are a fair way out for each other. It's just all about managing the traffic now for some of these drivers, but they all seem to be doing pretty well at the moment. As they continue on, looks like Alexander's getting a little bit close, or closing back up to Marco. The gap is around, or was around a second, but it looks like it has come back up a little bit, unfortunately. As well, Ivan 2 seconds from, is it still Nicola in the car? It does say it's still Nicola in the car, so I'll see what it actually says on the windscreen. Unfortunately, it does say somebody else, and that somebody else is going to be, yeah, let's say Martinoli is in the car instead, but obviously that is Nicola. Actually, I forgot to read the first name. Yep, genius, mate. But regardless, they started doing pretty well. Ivan also getting pretty close now to the Romeo Esports team. You can see him just in the background there. The gap is around a second. So we have still got some battles heading onwards now as we head towards the final hour of this race. And it is turning into a pretty much a qualifying session at this stage. Who can set the fastest laps and try improve their time to the car ahead. So let's see how they all get on, but for now it does seem pretty good, and Ivan is still hovering around a second, and he does seem to close into turn 1 and does seem to gain a fair amount of time to Nicola there, as Alexander as well now within reach of Marco. Marco is then the car ahead. Will go on a bumper cam of the Ferrari. Let's see how close can he get. I think there's a yellow flag being shown for turn 1 there, but nothing has come up. I'm not sure exactly. Maybe the marshals getting a little bit drunk, just throwing out the flags for no reason. Does seem like a thing they would do, but Alexander then looking for a move on the outside of the McLaren. He goes towards the chicane. Can he get enough traction to go all the way around the outside? He does think about it. Will he pull out to the left? He does pull out to the left. They're still side by side, but can't just get there in time, and does pull back in behind the McLaren for now. That was very close between those two, but unfortunately the battle does have to continue for Alexander, and I'm sure he would love to try and get by, but can't at the moment, so he will have to try again then as come towards head towards Ascari now. Don't know what he can do to try and gain a little bit more time. Let's go on past Chicane with the Ferrari and just see what his game plan is as I quickly take a break and get another drink. Okay, I am back, and we can see Alexander hasn't yet made the move in McLaren ahead. So it does seem to get a little bit closer now, actually. Also got Ivan fairly close to Nicola as well, so I have to pay attention on both gaps as we continue on. But now we've got Alexander looking for a move at Ascari. I don't think he's going to get there in time. No, he's not. But he is pushing the McLaren through as they head now towards Parabolica, and then we continue onwards. In the tow is Alexander, and he'll be looking to see if he can make a move around the outside at Parabolica as McLaren holds the inside pretty tight. McLaren moves back to the inside, but there's contact made, and it does mean the Ferrari has to go off the circuit, and I'm sure that Ferrari will not be happy about that. I'm sure he'll probably be flashing his lights to that one, as it did seem the McLaren did wander back on into the middle of the circuit there, but I have to quickly skip back to Ivan as he is now on the tail of the Aston Martin, and with that top line speed, or straight line speed, sorry, of the Mustang, I'm sure he'll be looking to try gain an advantage as to head towards Ascari, but we'll have to go on board the wing cam of Nicola, see if the gain is anything substantial. I don't think it's going to be, so I think the Aston Martin might survive for now, but they are still very, very close together, so I'm sure the Mustang will now try to gain even more advantage on this back straight, and then obviously this pit straight as well. So we'll have to see what does Nicola do. Does he let him by, or does he put up a fight as we head towards the final hour then, as these two continue on their battles. Looks like the Mustang just can't get out of the corners like the Aston can. By saying that, the Mustang already closed all the way up a little bit deep for the Aston, and now it means the Mustang's all over the back of the Aston Martin. Surely this is going to be a move made for the Mustang, you'd imagine, but they do head towards turn 1 now then. Looks like Aston Martin defending the inside line very, very heavily. They're side by side making contact, almost in the pit wall is the Mustang. The Mustang holds on for now, but touches the grass, is going to put him deep and across. I have to skip turn 1 there. So that is very, very aggressive defending from the Aston Martin, and Mustang has to cede the advantage he would have gained from going off, and obviously trying to avoid probably a track limit warning as well, I'd imagine, as well for that. So it does mean Nicola holds on for now, but let's see if we can get a better camera angle of that replay. Yeah, just on the grass there for the Mustang. Just really can't do anything to stop once it's on that grass, and probably broke a little bit late as well, which didn't really help his chances of making turn 1 at all. So unfortunate, but that does mean Ivan will have to go again. He will have to re-close back up to the Aston Martin and see if he can get any closer. I see a lot of cars now in the midfield heading towards the pit lane. That's Marcin and Mustafa as well heading into the pit lane as we're just about to creep up to the first hour. But a big slide for the Aston all over the gravel is Nicola. Really now pushing the Mustang. You see the Mustang just behind them as well, so looks like Ivan is not messing around. He does want that position, he is coming back for it one way or another. But the gap then does seem to shorten quite a fair amount. You remember these guys, remember at least what team have already pitted. I'm not too sure about Ivan in general, but we'll have to see how it goes on. Can I show the full leaderboard? I can indeed. We'll just quickly add more rows. Hopefully it doesn't block up too much of the screen. That is your full leaderboard then. There's 27 cars left in this race. And also got a request for P18. We'll get there in a second once we make sure there is no more battling here. I don't think there is. The Mustang will have to wait another couple of laps before he can gain an advantage again. So we can have to keep an eye on the gaps, of course, but we've got Victor Frank then in the Aston Martin, number P18, the 702 car, as he comes forward and looking to try maybe improve. It's a 30-second gap to the next car, so we'll have to keep an eye on how he does as he gets lapped by our race leader just there into turn 1. So obviously Victor Frank doing a good job there in the Aston Martin, and he will continue on then for the final hour of this race. And I will have to resort to going back to a lesser table, as it does seem to be blocking a little bit of the screen, unfortunately. So we'll have to go back to 20, but of course we also do have 27 cars still in this race. But the Mustang then still following along, trying to gain as much time as he can on this Aston Martin, and we'll see how he gets on. But we'll go on board with the Mustang, shall we? Let's do that. Let's go on board with Ivan and just see what can he do, how can he improve, and gain any advantage to that Aston Martin. So I'm going to see, does the Aston Martin gain a huge amount of advantage at the corners, but not that corner, as Aston Martin makes a huge mistake, and there's a big slide for the Mustang as well. So it does seem to be getting, I think it is getting, or the rain is getting a little bit heavier. So these drivers not having the best time. As a Ferrari that's just gone off circuit as well. But yeah, the conditions are getting a bit wetter. Maybe these guys are not 100% with the tyre pressures either. So we have to keep an eye on how they perform. But the Mustang for now still within half a second of the 164 Romanelli Sports Team car, as we have 57 minutes remaining of this race. It's been definitely an eventful 12 hours, that's for sure, and we've only got one more left as Picano's in to the pits then. The number 30 Porsche, and the Romanelli Sports Team is also in. I'm pretty sure they didn't make their stop too long ago, but they're in again. So the 164's in, the number 30's in. This probably will now be their final stop, well, I'd imagine, I'd hope it would be their final stop. So Ivan then, if he wants to try and get the overcut on that Aston Martin, he really need to push now, because the overcut is probably the better, but in these wet conditions, is it going to be the better option? We don't know. So we'll have to see. Also, we saw an undercut from Rosario earlier in this race, at the start of the race, and the undercut pretty much the whole top five. So we'll have to see how that does, see if anyone can do that again. But yeah, it does mean Nicola is stopped. I wonder if they'll swap drivers as well, as Nicola, I'm imagining, is probably driving for a fair away amount in time now. But he now gets released from his pit box. Picano has been released from his pit box, and he continues on. Does promote Ivan up to P4. Obviously, again, it does take time for this to update who's in the car, so we'll have to see as and when that does appear for us. But for now then, does mean we've still got Stanislav up into P1, followed by Pierre in P2, solo driver that's been going at all for the entire 12 hours, and he finds himself in P2. It's a fantastic result if he finishes there. Joe McLaren still heads the Tempo Ferrari 296, and Ivan still in the Mustang and doesn't come in, so staying out, committing to the overcut. And Bacano in P5, and we do have in the 78 car a change of driver. It's now Jasinski in there as well. And then the 164 car of Nicola is still driving, so by the looks of that. So let's see how he does get on as well then. But the race so far then we'll show this and then we'll get back to some of the action. Okay then, after that was the race so far, and we're back on board then with Nicola in the Romanoli Esports team, Aston Martin, as they continue on their battle, and we'll have to see how they continue on. But still then, it's definitely been a great race so far. Obviously, watching the likes of the Romanoli Esports team from where they were in Hungary, P1 and P2 between them after having a little crash with each other. There's like a few cars gone off there at the runoff at turn 1, not sure what was going on there, but now the team has now come back and is currently fighting for the podium, or not the podium, sorry, fighting for P4. Obviously they've just made their pit stop, so we'll have to see how they get on. Obviously Ivan yet to stop out of this lot, as there's a massive spin for a car ahead. That's a McLaren, massive spin as he rejoins the racing line. Not too sure what was going on there, but as I said, Ivan has yet to make a stop. He does come in now. It's almost like I'm giving strategy advice live. So Ivan, when you next can, put on those soft tyres in the wet conditions for me, please. I'm sure he would listen to that for sure. That he now makes his stop, and we'll now see if the overcut has worked or not. Nicola currently coming towards Ascari, so this is roughly where he was there. Obviously, Ivan was just behind Nicola, so we'll have to see if there's any gain or not, as Nicola has to take a little bit of avoiding action there with the blue flag of the Porsche. But we'll see how he gets in and where he is in correlation to Ivan. Ivan still stopped in his box, as he does get dropped and off he goes, and he hasn't got long before he reaches the pit exit signs. And it is going to be a pretty interesting. We'll see where Nicola actually is, as Nicola's come across the line now. So yeah, the overcut has worked then for the Mustang, and that allows Ivan to push on upwards. But to be fair, the Ferrari going a little bit of a detour there around Monza, but yeah, Nicola isn't too far behind, and obviously on much warmer tyres as well, so if they obviously that's if they have taken tyres. I imagine they would have at this stage of the race, but we'll see how they get on as they head towards the final hour. Our race leader is now in the pit lane as well. Maybe he's turning off the hazards. Probably not. As he now comes through. I don't know if that was for a drive-through potentially. Didn't look he stopped at all, but has now come out the pit exit. And not that a drive-through would matter to him anyway, as he's still a lap ahead of the rest. Also got the P8 Porsche also in the pits as well. That's Zabel for his stop. Obviously Stanislav then exits the pits and continues on. It's definitely turning into quite an interesting race as well. So again, these guys started 43rd on the grid and now up into P1. So definitely very impressive from those guys. Of course, if you're wondering when the next ACM race is, obviously it is going to be the 60 minutes of Brands Hatch tomorrow at 6:30 in the evening UTC, and that is the finale of the Sunday series before the next one gets released. So make sure you come down and join us. It should be quite an exciting race. And of course, maybe you're wondering what is the schedule looking like. That's not a problem. We've also got another 60 minutes of Brands Hatch the following day on Monday, and followed by 100 minutes of Circuit of the Americas. Then Red Bull Ring on Friday, with our next endurance being in the 7 hours of Nordschleife on Saturday the 13th of June. And then we also have the next mini endurance on Thursday the 18th of June, and that is 2 hours of Imola. So definitely a wide variety of races for everyone to get involved. If you do want to get involved, of course, you can join the Syncgrid or head to the Discord, or you can go onto the ACM website, which is acm-racing.com, and you can find all information there. And of course, if you join the Discord and ask for some help, I'm sure one of the ACM team will be able to give you a hand if you should need it. So of course, make use of that. But looks like we do have a few little battles going up and down the grid then. Looks like we've got Matteo now in 184, and I believe Matteo is actually he's chasing down Tobias in the pink McLaren. As this battle goes on, we'll go to wing cam for this one. Some Mustang gets a little bit of a mistake there. I believe he's heading through a fast car as well, so we'll have to see how that happens. I do think actually it does look quite nice, or the cars do look quite nice in this light as well. But there you go, the car's going by. They're getting out of the way. And McLaren Tobias can hold off for a little bit longer for the moment. I think we do have, is it Luca? And yeah, it's Luca and Nicola battling once again for P6 as it stands at the moment. But big mistake for the Mustang. Took the wrong amount of curve, and it does allow Aston Martin up the inside and to make a pass before Ascari even. So that was a great pass for them too. But yeah, Mustang can't really do all too much about that. He did make a mistake, took too much curve and started bouncing around afterwards. So see, can Luca regain the place? He just make a big slide out the exit of Ascari, and that will come under pressure from a blue flag driver. So let's see, and of course, how that all plays out. now. I wonder if Luca can maybe catch back up and then make the repass. He still has 44 minutes left on the clock to do so, so there's no real big pressure at the moment. But we'll go back on board with Matteo, and he does find himself obviously teammate of Luca. I'm sure he'll be looking to try and get by the pink McLaren. And we'll go on board as much as we can with the Mustang as the pink McLaren goes off into the gravel, and that is going to be a fairly easy pass for Matteo. Then again, another mistake for the McLaren. It is quite a tricky corner, and it's quite quite a tricky corner, even more so in the wet. So unfortunate for the pink McLaren there, but does promote Matteo now up into P11. But the battle continues on then across, up and down across the grid. Looks like Luca is regaining time on Nicola already. Also got Stefano as well, making a move on Andrea at some point as well. Let's go on board with that. I think that's down. Yeah, that's going to be down in P18. Stefano driving 161 Ferrari. He is looking to take a move on Andrea on the car ahead. And I'm sure looking for a pass to, so they have caught up actually. Also, this is the 161 we were talking about a little bit earlier, and so they have caught up now to P17, and they'll be looking for the pass this time. And, actually, I think that's Nicola. We'll have to cut away from this for 2 seconds as like. It's number 78. No, it looks like we had a little bit of a glitch on the graphics there. I'm not sure what happened. It showed that Nicola was very close to the McLaren already, but then them two there. But it looks like the Mustang's gone off in the background. I'm not sure what's happened there, but I'm sure Nicola wants to catch up to the 78 car. But obviously does find himself under pressure from Luca, so we'll have to see. Can Nicola pull away enough from McLaren to be let free? I'm not sure what the plan is for them. We've also got Stefano also making a move as well. Let's just quickly try out this auto cam feature that I've got to see if it's doing its job. And it does immediately. We'll just cut to Pierre for a second. It's gone. So Fabian's coming in then for a pit stop. Battles going on up and down the grid. Looks like we've got Andrea as well. Yeah, contact made there, but I don't know what's going on with the camera there for a second. There we go. It looks like Andrea had contact with someone who's got a lot of action down. Oh my god, there's a lot of cars going on. I'm not too sure what's going on here, but there's cars left, right and centre. There's Joe McLaren as well involved in this, so didn't see exactly what happened there, but I think there was contact with somebody, or someone had contact car went off the circuit, but still then we continue on. Hopefully all is good, but we'll skip back up towards the front of the field. We'll go back on board with our race leader, as he actually the head of this pack that we were just looking at, so not too sure what's going on there, as Joe McLaren finds himself behind the race leader once again, and he'll be looking to make a pass pretty soon. Again, let's have a look at the lap count then. It's 351 laps from our race leader, followed by Pierre 350, and Joe McLaren actually being lapped twice now by Stanislav. So yeah, definitely very interesting to see as well. But yeah, it's definitely been, I'm sure, for Stanislav and Ivanek quite a good race, considering they started 43rd on the grid and pretty much got up into the podium places within 2 hours, and I'm pretty sure they were first not long after that. So yeah, it's definitely been a very good race for them. And as we head now on board with Pierre, something we haven't talked about all too much. Obviously, solo driver, we know, but we don't know. He's just been quietly keeping there, nice and consistent. So he's doing pretty well for himself then. But we'll go on board then with Nicola and Luca, who are still very, very close to each other, as these two continue on their fight then for P6 in the last almost half an hour of this race. So yeah, it's definitely turning into a pretty good race in general. Lots of action, and we've had a lot of action in that 164 car, so can't complain all too much. But we'll go on board with Luca then. On the next lap, we'll go on board. We'll enjoy his lap as he looks to close down on Nicola then. The gap is just outside of a second. Looks like Nicola does have the better sector 2 out of these cars. Let's go on board then with the Mustang. Nicola just ahead of you, as you can see. So we'll have to see what can Luca do to try and close that gap as I can grab another drink of water. I am back then. As we do see, Luca has not closed the gap all too much, but he just, as we go on board, almost makes contact with the Aston Martin. And that Ferrari also looking to get involved, but again is a blue flag, so doesn't want to get caught up in this all too much. But we do continue on then, as Luca getting ever closer to Nicola as well. But at the moment, just can't get close enough to make the overtake, unfortunately. But we're hitting towards the last 30 minutes of this 12-hour race, and Luca actually under threat from the Ferrari, so he's got to be a little bit careful he doesn't get held up with that as well. Obviously the Ferrari is blue flag, so nothing really too much going on there. The race is doing very well. Also, I was just talking about Luca and Nicola, but Stanislav, the guy in P1, started 43rd this race, pretty much second to last, and is currently leading the race by a lap. So he's doing very well indeed, and Luca is trying his best at the moment to get up into P6, but does seem to get close and then back off a little bit. Just not 100% consistency where he needs to be. But this battle does continue onwards then, as well, actually Tobias is getting pretty close to the back of Matteo there, actually, is that? Or no, it's once again the graphics playing up a little bit too much. But as we continue on then, do see battles have started to spread out. Yeah, the gaps do start to spread out then, as we do hit into the final 30 minutes. As Luca has once again managed to break the second mark as well. And looks like we do have a few cars getting pretty close together, but we'll go back on board then with Luca. As again, this is the closest battle, but it does appear to not be quite an active one. But continues on then. Luca within half a second now. Still trying to get close to the back of Nicola, but this is once again the closest battle on track at the moment. And look at them, a lot closer this time. We're on bumper cam. There's a big slide from the Aston Martin. He's going to put him under threat. As they go side by side then in towards turn 1. Who's going to come out on top? Luca versus Nicola. This is the closest Luca's been all race so far. Luca around the outside has to cut the chicane, as Nicola does give him a little bit of the elbow, but again has a seat position to Nicola there, as once again not close enough, or close enough, just not there 100%. Continue on then, as Luca has 28 minutes left to try and make this move on Nicola. We'll go on board with Nicola, shall we, for a lap, and just see how he gets on. Let's go to Nicola and go on board. Passenger cam. You can see in the rearview mirror how close that Mustang will start to get. Yeah, we'll see how he does. I think that's pretty much confirmed that. Looks like Nicola now has a substantial gap over Luca. It's around 3 seconds. So, yeah, unfortunately, and there's no other real close gaps other than Tobias getting close to David in P11, but that hasn't broke a second just yet. As I say that, it just did. Tobias, yeah, getting close to the back of the Lexus. as I don't think the McLaren is looking to make a move just yet, as Alexis seems to be holding on for the moment. As obviously Alexis' top speed as well is going to give him a fair amount of advantage. But the McLaren is going to go for a big bump on the rear of the Lexus, almost sends him backwards and up flying. We'll have to get a replay of that. That was definitely something to see. We'll have to get a wing count with the Lexus on that one. That was we have to see that one again. That was yeah, we'll get sent up into the air. Does the Lexus on that one? Again, unfortunate to see, but it does let Tobias get up into P11. So the Lexus, I'm sure, will not be happy, and that does then basically make there's no more real gaps. But I say that, but Bacano, as ever so slowly, caught the back of Joe McLaren. Only 2 seconds away, so if he can try to do that in the next 23 minutes, we should see maybe a quite exciting battle for the podium place. We'll have to see how they get on, but we'll stay on board with our race leader for now, as he is a little bit lonely into the night. Goes Stanislav. We'll go on board. We'll do another passenger lap with the Nissan, shall we? Let's see. I'll leave the timing tyre out of the way for you. Actually, I'll leave it on so you can see exactly what's going on. But yeah, we'll see what Stanislav can do, or what laps he's going to do. Because he still is the fastest man on the track, but at least a second at the moment. Or at least is to P2, so it'll be interesting to see what he's doing. Makes him stand out a little bit to the rest. you see then, that's 2 laps then from our race leader, showing me exactly how it's going to be done. But we will have to go back on board then with Sebastian Picano, as he now finds himself just outside of a second of Joe McLaren, and this could be the battle of the race, as the gap now is, it seems to keep spreading out, but let's see. And this could be the final battle of this race. It's going to be the closest battle on the circuit at the moment. As we see Picano then. So what can he do? We'll go on board with Picano, see if we can get any closer to the back of Joe McLaren in the final 15 minutes of this race. See then, Porsche is getting a little bit closer as we head now towards the final 14 minutes of this race, and can we see that if Joe, I'm not sure what is going on. Looks like it just got removed from the camera angle there. I'm not sure, but Yeah, for us to see exactly what happens. And the gap then now under a second as we continue on. There's Picano then very close to the back of Joe McLaren, and we'll see what the gap will be when they hit turn 1. Picano then half a second away from P3 then. This is the battle. The final 10 minutes remain, and Picano is all over the back of Joe McLaren then. We'll see how exactly can he get by. Well, if he even can get by. What kind of fight is Joe McLaren going to put up? And you see a bit of a lap traffic there, a bit of a twitch from the Porsche as well. I think we just missed blue flag action there. Let's see what exactly just happened there on the replay. Looks like the Porsche gets a little bit deeper. It looks like, yeah, it looks like Joe McLaren, it's a little bit deep anyway, and the Porsche trying to get past the blue flag there, but it looks like the Porsche then all the way behind Joe McLaren. The lap car looking to try and get involved as well. But the Porsche all the way over the back of pushing McLaren pretty much through the corners at this stage as they try and go through, and just under 10 minutes. As he's still pushing McLaren along then through the corners, and the Porsche all the way over the exit. He's literally going to be pushing that Ferrari up towards Parabolica now. Just can't make the move just yet, as I'm sure he'll be looking for the move into turn 1. Joe McLaren still holding on. He's got to hold on for another 8 minutes before the end of the race. It's just not enough at this stage. Porsche looking for the move, made McLaren think about making a defensive manoeuvre. As they continue, this Porsche all over the back of this Ferrari, again getting the better exit. I'll have to go on board wing cam with Joe McLaren then. Can the Porsche make a move? Just can't reach there just yet. He's still pushing the Ferrari through. Big twitch from the Porsche, another big twitch from the Porsche. He's not going to get the straight line speed he needs now. Down the straight, he hasn't got long left, this Porsche, to try and make the move. He's wasting the opportunity. He needs to really commit to it. I think his best opportunity will be that back straight, so he really does need to commit to a move here, but just can't at the moment. Look to make a move again, but just can't reach there in time. As the two will be side by side, Joe McLaren's pushing him all the way to the inside as they go side by side into Lesma 1, pretty much banging doors. Porsche just can't get it, just can't get enough, and McLaren goes all the way around the outside to hold on to the place for now. These two are so close, and the Porsche just needs to try and get by. We've got 5 minutes left on the clock. There won't be many laps remaining. If they're doing around 2 minutes a lap, so they need to really put their foot down, or the Porsche needs to put his foot down if he wants to get by, but I don't think he can at the moment. But the Porsche then, can he make this move? At the moment he pulls to the outside. Will the outside line be enough for the Porsche? We'll have to find out. Into the braking zone we will go any minute now. Here we are. But I don't think it's going to be enough. I think the Porsche's going to have to try and set himself up for another move a little bit late or earlier on in the lap. But the Porsche taking a little bit of a the quicker line and see if he can try and get the run on the Ferrari into turn 1. But I don't know. Looks like the Porsche just holding on for now. Just trying to put as much pressure on Joe McLaren as he can. And so far, they haven't got many laps. I think they've probably only got around 2 more laps after this. So we'll have to see exactly how that goes for them. But obviously these guys are actually a lap down to Stanislav as well. So their race will finish when Stanislav finishes the race. So we'll have to keep an eye on that too. So they might not even get their full 4 minutes of racing, so a move is pretty much critical now for the Porsche, and he does think about it. McLaren does defend to the inside, but there's contact, and the Porsche and the Ferrari go off the circuit, and it is going to be detrimental for them both, but they are still both going. I think the Porsche just clipped the back of the Ferrari there, maybe a little bit of a racing incident as they both did go off, but does the Porsche have enough time now to actually get by Joe McLaren? And we'll have to find out. There's 3 minutes 40 on the clock. And Stanislav, where is Stanislav? Stanislav is now coming around the Parabolica now, and he has got 3 minutes 30, so he might roughly get a lap or 2 more But I have to see. He's starting his couple last laps. I don't think the white flag is being shown. It's not, so I'll have to see how he gets on then. But for these two, it is definitely going to be quite the battle, and that's for sure. They've still got a little bit more time until the checkered flag is shown. So let's see, what will it be for the Porsche. So they've already made contact, they've got really close to each other, and they just need a final clean lap from the Porsche to try and get past this Ferrari for the final podium place. Can the tempo car hold on there? From Joe McLaren's been driving this car for a long time now. Can he hold on from Picano to the end of this race? We'll have to keep checking in on where Stanislav is in relation to the time remaining. He is currently coming through Lesmo 2, so these guys will have to see. But Porsche again getting the better exit out the chicane. He's going to make another move. He does think about it, but again, McLaren holding off the middle of the track, and the Porsche will have to wait again. But can he get the better line into Lesmo 2? He does put on the brakes. He's all over the road, but Porsche trying to be patient, trying not to make an overly aggressive move, but he doesn't have the top line speed. But does he? As he is swerving around, they're going to be side by side heading towards Ascari. Does Picano know this is his last opportunity? Again, they're trying to get by. He just can't find the time he needs, and it will be, I believe, we'll have to quickly go on board. It will be white flag shown then to our race leader, who has one more lap to go, and we'll have to see where this puts the Porsche and the Ferrari again. So they've got one more lap then to sort out this battle between them. Where will they end up? They're literally pushing each other across the line, and then push it all over the back of the Ferrari now. It's incredibly close. What will Picano do at this stage? McLaren holding the inside line. Porsche goes to the outside, but again the McLaren cuts across under the braking. It's probably going to be considered a defensive manoeuvre if reported by the stewards. Again, the Porsche getting the acceleration out of the turn 2. It's going to go all the way around the outside towards the chicane. Again, this is a final lap battle for the podium place. Picano on the outside, McLaren on the inside, which now switches around to the outside. But McLaren's pushing the Porsche all the way across and defending very heavily, and he's giving it its absolute all to make sure the Porsche doesn't get by. But it's a little bit sloppy on the brakes for the Ferrari, and the Porsche is just squirming, trying to find a gap where he can stick the Porsche. He thinks about the inside, thinks about the outside, trying to make John McLaren move his car, blocking him effectively, which I'm sure the stewards might have something to say about that. But for now then, the Porsche does hold on daily, but we'll have to come back to this in just a second, as we'll have to see. But Stanislav then and Ivanek, the cars started 43rd on the grid, and it's now led for a considerable long time, lapped pretty much everyone. It's now going to cross the line to finish P1 in what is an absolute incredible race from Stanislav in the Nissan GTR. Fantastic race for the Nissan, but we will quickly cut back to this. But I'm sure it's been an accident, I believe. Yeah, Picano is a little bit way off, unfortunately, from Joe McLaren. So maybe a little bit of contact happened there heading towards Ascari, but that does mean it'll be Pierre finishing in P2 when he comes to cross the line. Joe McLaren P3, Sebastian Picano in P4, Jasinski in P5, and unfortunately a battle which hasn't developed all too much between Luca and Nicola. The Renault Esports team will be finishing in P6, and then Luca in P7. Just not enough today for the Renault Esports team. I'll say a little bit at pace, but that was a fantastic race. Indeed, we'll go to the classification. There is your top 10, and yeah, that has definitely been a very exciting race then, from from us in 12 hours. That was absolutely brilliant to watch, and that last lap battle between McLaren and Bacano there as well. But yeah, what an exciting race it's been. Obviously, Stanislav, congratulations to them, and Ivanek for getting 43 places in the race. So it's absolutely fantastic. And obviously, your podium, Stanislav, Pierre, and then Joe McLaren finish out the podium for you. And that has definitely been a very exciting race. I will leave you with the end board, but obviously thank you guys for watching. I'm sure we'll be commentating pretty soon at some point, so make sure you join us for our next events as well, which of course I'll show you now. Obviously on the screen now for you. Obviously get signed up on SimGrid as and when you can, but that's all for me, so thank you for watching.
Boy, on a real hesitation creeping in, but you look so good and I know what you're offering. Phone's lighting up, but I'm just gonna let it ring. Yeah, my phone's